Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. This is my post market wrap up. People have a lot to talk to you about. We're going to cover a lot here. I want to start off with what is my largest or my biggest concern, bar none. So let's start off with something that's in your inbox right here. If you subscribe to my free newsletter, again, link in the description of this video. This is in your inbox right now. So I want to cover this. I want to go through this and and connect a couple of dots here for you. All right, and you don't have to agree with me on this. All right, and I want to hear from you. But this is what I see playing out, and it's not pretty. So let's do this here. So Lions and Friends, this is my concern over their wars. Well, they're going to be coming here. Let's talk more about why this is going to happen here. And I've been explaining to you as of late how this is playing out. Again, this at its core, what we're seeing here is a very sinister way to add liquidity to a dying system. All right, now this is going to expand. It must expand for many, many reasons. I want you to keep these things in mind. The main reason why this is going to expand, okay, is again, we are in a crisis. We see the crisis here of liquidity drying up. This is something that is going to be avoided at all costs for now by central banks who run the economy, who run the markets, who run the financial system as a whole. They will kill whoever they have to kill, as many people as they have to kill to keep the system liquefied. And again, connecting the dots here, they're building up to a new war on terror. The last war on terror, which is still going on, $8 trillion and counting so far. Okay. This has been a major source of debt for the world. $8 trillion. In case you weren't aware of that, look it up for yourself if you don't believe me. Now, this is another avenue that they're going to look towards, a new war on terror, to fund the war machine, the military industrial complex, to reduce the population of the world. I mean, we can go on and on. So anyway, let me start off again. Lions and Friends, this is my concern over their wars. As we all know, so far nearly 100 billion US dollars has been sent to Ukraine to fund their war. And this is the number we're allowed to know. We also know Biden is about to ask Congress for emergency crisis funding for the Israeli war. And he is going to get whatever he wants without question. Okay, so whatever number the man comes out of his mouth, he's going to get it. And that's going to be the first installment with much more coming down the line. Again, this is going to expand. This is going to grow into a new war on terror. Keep this in mind as I read through this. So here we go. At one point, thank you, Carlos. At one point, in order to keep the scheme going, these over there wars are coming right here, and you can count on it. All this is about liquidity, as I alluded to just a few minutes ago. And every imaginable and unimaginable event is going to be engineered to keep the system fueled with more debt at the cost of as many lives as they need. Expect another 9/11 moment right here in the United States on U.S. soil. It's been years in the planning, okay? The stage has already been set. I want to know how many of you are going to disagree with this, okay? That's really the truth, because I'm telling you right now, here's what they're going to do. They need to put a face on the new war on terror. That should frighten you. Do you remember how it was last time? And they were Bin Laden's face and all the leaders of ISIS and their face. They need a face. You can't have a war or a new war on a noun. Okay, war on terror, a noun. Okay, so what they're going to do here, and this is just connecting the dots. We already understand how this is going. Frank, thank you. Let's talk about, save that question for later, please. I want to cover everyone's questions later, but I want to thank you for that. We'll talk about oil reserves. If you want to, just throw it out to me later so I don't forget. Anyway, In my opinion, this is leading to, again, another mechanism to pull vast amounts of cash into the now. Again, $8 trillion that we know about, we can account for, that has already been spent on the war on terror. Okay, we have the Russian-Ukraine war, this Israel war on a noun, whatever. It's going to expand here, of course. And the fact that, again, we've seen their playbook. We know what they do. They need a face. They need a face. They got to point at it, and they're going to flash that face all over the screen. And every nation around the world, every free nation, people are going to be fixated. Again, the flag waving, to this, to that. An event is going to happen. I mean, there's just no doubt in my mind at all. Okay. It's just a matter of how they're going to do it. It's already been planned out. And again, look, there's more and more news coming out that Israel was warned before this was obviously planned out from a long time ago, 9/11. You remember all that? All the information that we found out after the fact. How many warnings there were? They were all ignored. They were all ignored. Why? They allow these situations to happen. These are engineered, every one of them. Okay. Thank you, Flash News. I appreciate that. And something is already in the works. It's been planned out. It's just a matter of how they're going to execute it. Well, interesting choice of words. So that's my greatest fear right now. Another 9/11. They need a face. You cannot have a war on a noun. You understand? They need a face. They need to point at someone. That's the reason why we're all suffering. He or she or it is the reason why we need to spend untold billions and trillions of dollars on a new war. That's how they sell it to the people. It's packaged up very nicely, very neatly, and then sold to the people of the world on the back of sorrow, pain, death, suffering. You understand? Prepare yourselves for this. Prepare yourselves for this. Yes, automotive professionals, thank you. And they need, this is all about liquidity. We're drying up here, okay? Look, in case you don't know, and I know you do if you follow this blog, we're just coming out of the longest, most severe bear market in history with regard to the debt market. Okay. And these institutions who have loaded up, I'm talking about the investment banks, who have loaded up on debt that yields nothing now. The value of their portfolios is evaporating. We already understand that the entire banking system is in crisis. It is in crisis, the consolidating power. You know about this. Okay. At least you should. We've covered this at length multiple times. The system is being taken apart. It's being dismantled piece by piece. We've been speaking about this. The whole world today is in an economic free fall. And again, at its core, liquidity is drying up. And this thing that again, you and I have covered this. They'll do things to us we can't believe. Okay, be prepared. Have the high ground always. Nothing is what it seems to be in this environment here. The timing of this, how Wall Street reacted prior. Again, if now we're getting warnings that they knew that this was going to happen, and the action on Wall Street here, thank you, Keith. I appreciate that too. How the stock market got bought up like that. Big rally before anything. Okay. And then the debt market being closed on Monday is leaving a nice little window here. You understand? For this whole thing to go. And then since that time, of course, we've seen something miraculous happen. The whole entire yield curve coming down, the 10-year yield dropping, the initial knee-jerk higher into the dollar, which waned off. The dollar is weaker now than it was initially, okay? The risk in this market dropping. The MMRI this morning had dropped below 300, the Mannarino Market Risk Indicator. I know most of you here watch it, and if you don't, it's free. Use this tool. Link in the description of this video. Okay. We are just at 300 as I am speaking here. Crude oil is taking a pinch here. All right. I've been telling you what's going on. Crude oil is going to bounce around in a range for a while. And we're going to see. There's going to be a ground incursion also, obviously. And I think there's a little bit of fear. We'll see how that plays out to the market initially. Well, I don't know when this is going to happen, but it is going to happen as well as part of everything, what we're seeing. So I just want you to understand what my fear is. And I want us all to be aware of their playbook. We know it cold. We know what they do. They float out the Fed presidents at just the right time, like they did with the Bost freak guy talking up the market. Now we heard from the Fed today. We heard the Fed minutes today. And basically, this was prior. This is from the last meeting here prior to the war. And the Fed was, according to the minutes there, oh, yes, another rate hike is more than likely on the table. But this is a game changer, what's going on here. I believe, again, central banks are going to use this crisis, okay, new war on terror, for which they're going to put a face on it. Remember, they're going to put a face on it, and that should scare you. That should scare you, honestly. Eric, thank you, and Whiskey, thank you as well. Meaning, in order to put a face on this, and they're going to do it, because you can't have a war on a noun. They're going to they got to find someone to blame. They have to assign blame. You understand? It's always the same. You lawyers out here, you know what I'm talking about. It's all about assigning blame and then packaging it up and selling it to the world, and so they can justify unlimited amounts of cash. And this is the Fed. Okay, we don't have a war chest. No developed nation in the world has a war chest. Where's the cash going to come from? Where did the $8 trillion come from to fund so far on the war on terror? Did we just have a war chest where they came from? No, it's from the Fed. Central banks supply all the cash for everything. All wars are banker wars. This is a fact. Okay, I think we're all pretty much on the same page. I would assume so. Hey, by the way, just real quick, I want you to know something's going on. I'm getting a lot of flack lately, and that tells me I'm over the target. And I'm certain I'm going to take more flack here from this video outlining what I am, but people need to be ready. Do you think it's outside the realm of possibility that we are going to see another 9/11 here? Do you think it's outside the realm of probability, or is it highly probable that they're going to start flashing faces? We're going to have another event, and they're going to point to the person who's at, or group of people, of course, just like they did last time, that's responsible. Okay, so they can justify whatever they want to do. And I believe, again, Fed minutes came out talking about whatever restrictive policy nonsense. And let me tell you something else, in case you don't know. Every single prediction that the Federal Reserve has made, every one with regard to where the economy would go, it's all been a lie, quite obviously. Where inflation would go has been 100% wrong. As a matter of fact, speaking about that, we got the wholesale inflation number today. Came in way higher than anyone expected, except you and I. You and I have been way ahead of the curve on this. You think they're done? No. All this extra spending, wars, a new war on terror, everything else, this is massively inflationary, okay? They have to make more cash, print it out of thin air, and funnel it wherever they want to funnel it, okay, to power the war machine. How many times have we been warned? Yeah, paying it forward. Thank you, Will. I appreciate that. Anyway, so far with this, I'm in here for almost 13 minutes. Does this sound right to you, what I'm explaining? Or are there some of you that think I'm just completely out there and I should put on a tinfoil hat or something along those lines? Does it sound right? You and I knew what they were going to do. This is just a matter of time. We felt it in our bones. How many times over the past few months were we saying, you feel it? You feel it? You feel it? Yeah. You see, let me tell you something, okay, in case you don't know. Every single one of us has a God-given intellect, almost like a third eye. You know what I mean? Like a little extra ESP, if you want to call it that. Thank you, Cigarette. I appreciate that. This is a gift, okay? And we're able to, and you're told that it's not real right from the time you're little kids are much more in tune with this part of themselves. And then, of course, as you achieve adulthood, you're told it's not real. But it is real. I'm not here to tell you that. And I think most of you here would agree with what I'm trying to say. We know something else is going to happen. I can tell you right now, I feel it in my bones, to my bone. Okay, what I'm telling you is real. This is going to happen, and it's what they have for us. It's what they have planned for us. And there's really no way to stop it, unfortunately. Anyway. Inflation continues to rise. Again, every single projection from the Fed has been wrong. But they're looking for a reason to print. This is what I was leading towards, okay? They're looking for, again, the goal of central banks is to be the lenders and buyers of last resort, to fund everything. Thank you, automotive professionals. Yeah, exactly. The pineal gland. It's just a lot of things here that maybe people don't have a real grasp on it, but it's totally true. And thank you for bringing that up. Anyway, so with that said, here let us move forward with other stuff that I wanted to talk to you about. Before I move forward, and again, thank you for these thumbs up, people. But I need you. I need all of you to get this work out out there. I count on all of you to, those thumbs up are amazing and we need them, but we need to share this work. We need to get it out there. We need to discuss these things. Okay. I know it's difficult because people, I mean, you and I, again, look, there's a natural selection going on in many ways. Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate that too. Not everyone's going to understand. They can't. They block it. Okay. People, they don't understand. Thank you, G. I appreciate that. Anyway, so there's also something else going on I want to talk to you about. This so-called crackdown on misinformation. There are many. Obviously, this, what I'm talking about right now, I guess could be construed or misconstrued as misinformation. But I challenge anyone. Look, don't believe a word I say. That's a fact. That's number one. Okay. People know the truth when they hear it. And if you hear something that I say that maybe you're not really sure about, do your own research on it. Say, is what Greg's saying right? Is it true? Does this ring true to me? You know what I'm trying to say? And they're going to try to squash this more so moving forward. So understand that the flow of information must be controlled. This is probably on borrowed time. And this is another reason why I urge you to join. My newsletter is free and I don't share your information. So if you have not yet joined my newsletter, link below, do it. Because if I'm gone off here, that's where I'm going to post all my work, including my video. I don't need Rumble or anything else. I got my own thing. Okay. Our thing, my own thing. A lot of you were like, hey, Greg, you called the bond market right. No, I didn't call anything right. This is a collective effort. There are tens of thousands of people all over the world who participate here. This is our thing. All right. So although I appreciate what you say, all of you out here inspire me. I read through the comments. And it gets my brain going as well. Anyway, yes, the newsletter is not censored. Thank you, Jeffro. I appreciate that. It's all there. So anyway, this crackdown on misinformation here, you're going to hear a lot about it as well. They must control the flow of information. People like you and I, we are dangerous. We are probably going to be the target of this part of this new war on terror, which they're going to throw at us very soon. They're going to start pointing towards a face. Believe me, they have to assign blame. It should make sense to you what I am talking about here. Anyway, going back to the market, let me just touch on a few things. Travis, thank you. Housing. All right. Well, you know what? Again, please hold those questions just for the end. I'm going to give you an opportunity. Going back to the market here, 10-year yield dropping, risk in the market dropping, MMRI around 300 right now. Crude oil is going to trade in a range for a while, but it's going much, much higher. It's going much, much higher as this thing expands. It's going to expand. It must expand. That's their plan here to make this grow. We all knew this Russia-Ukraine that was just the start of it. And then that was going to expand, and it will as well. Anyway, going back to the market, cryptocurrencies falling under some pressure. Gold and silver doing okay today. Dollar relatively flat, and I said crude oil fell under some pressure today. All right, now with that said, okay, I promised you, so I'm gonna cover those questions that you want to go over with me. And again, I want to just thank you. We got almost 900 thumbs up here so far. 2,500 people. That is outstanding, and I do appreciate it. Yes, I will agree with that. The public is lost by design. Understand what's happening here. The general population really has no idea what's happening to them or why. Most people, as I tell you all the time, walk through time and space not knowing who they are, what they're doing, or why they're doing it. They sit there and they have their mind screwed by the mainstream propaganda. It's called a program for a reason. It's called the tell lie vision for a reason. And did you see the mummy Biden today talking about, terror, selling you the new war on terror. But they got to create a face. So when I was watching or listening to that thing talk, I was like, it's just so obvious. It's just so obvious where they're going. Look, you got to be brain dead, literally, not to be able to peer directly into their playbook. We know what's going to happen most of the times before it happens. Okay, even when they're aware of it, when a nation is made aware of what's going to happen, it just happens anyway. Okay, we know there's a reason for that. Honestly, yes, Melanie, it's very clear. It's crystal freaking clear. All right, people. As I said, let's real estate. There was a question about real estate here. Okay, I think I've covered this, but let's cover it again real quick. We just broke 1,000 thumbs up. Um, the stock market, the biggest bubble in the history of the world, along with real estate right now. As a matter of fact, there are distortions across the spectrum of asset classes. I've told you this forever. We've had this easy money policy now, suppressed rates. I mean, it's what it does. It opens up a doorway for cash to make its way into risk assets. Again, reinflating a stock market bubble, reinflate a housing bubble. Again, it's very simple to understand. People say to me, and I'm just going to cover this again real quick. I've done it before. How can you recognize a bubble in an asset? Okay, let's talk about housing, for example. When the average price of a home today is way out of reach for the average guy or average girl making an average salary, that's a bubble. Okay, that's how you recognize a bubble here. And the fact that, again, it's housing affordability is at its lowest ever. I'm not familiar with that ticker, but I'll look into that for you. EC. Anybody familiar with that ticker? Not familiar with it. Sorry about that. Anyway, so that's how you recognize a bubble. When the average price of an asset becomes unattainable for an average guy or an average girl on an average salary, that's a bubble. It's very clear. So housing today, massive bubble beyond belief, along with the stock market too. And where the stock market is today has no bearing on reality whatsoever. It's counting on more easy money. Why do you think? What is this whole thing now? Again, this new war, did exactly what it was meant to do. And you and I called it out on Sunday. My markets will look ahead. Before the market opened, I told you how the market was going to react. I said, you're going to see some stabilization here in the debt market. The debt market would stabilize because of the war. And that's what it was meant to do. We were in a crisis. We had a sell-off in the debt market that was really getting out of hand. Can't allow it to happen. It was hitting world equity markets. The illusion of the markets was failing. And they must keep it going. The illusion of the market. The illusion of the market. Don't be surprised to see, for example, wars expand, war on terror, another 9/11, whatever it might be, bond yields drop below 300. The market higher. That's how it's going to work. I mean, I know this took a lot of people by surprise. Again, because people were writing to me on Sunday all night. Greg, the market's going to crash tomorrow. Greg, the market's going to crash tomorrow. You're dead wrong. You're totally wrong. The market's going to crash tomorrow. I mean, 1,000, maybe 1,000 emails. Prism, thank you. My favorite technical indicators. But anyway, just real quick. It didn't happen. That was not what they were going for here. My favorite technical indicators, there's a lot of them that I really like here, honestly. But it's very difficult today to gauge anything looking at indicators. Nothing matters anymore. It's just a matter of how they're going to prop up this market. Fundamentals don't matter anymore either. Technical trading is become very difficult these days, honestly. You can look at overbought, oversold indicators here, all kinds of stuff like that. But it's very difficult these days. Anyway, that's where we're at, people. I think we are there. We knew this would happen. We got more to look forward to. Unfortunately, just be aware. Just be aware of this. Anyway, look, Robert. I will not invest any money here in defense stocks. Sorry, I just won't do it here. I know defense stocks are doing very well right now. A lot of people out here probably buying, calls on this stuff. I'm not doing it. There's no way I'm doing that. I can't. I will not be able to sleep at night. I'm sorry. But look, I'm not saying you can't do it. Okay. It's just not right for me, and that's okay. And if you did, I wouldn't call you out on it. Who am I to say anything about anybody? All right. But I don't think investing in, the war machine, although these things are probably going to do exceedingly well moving forward. It's just something I wouldn't be looking into. Scott, I told you about uranium already, bro. It's a commodity. I like commodities. I like commodities a lot. Eventually, this is going to flip. We're going to see commodities skyrocket across the board. There's no doubt about it. That's my take on it. Again, you are all absolutely. In fact, I encourage you to do your own research on this. Cash moves through markets in relatively predictable patterns. When you have a situation like this, and I think it's going to get much greater. Again, you have to understand, this crisis to crisis mechanism demands that more cash be pulled into the now in greater and greater amounts. It has to happen anyway to sustain where we are. To sustain where we are, debt must be expanded on exponentially. It can't stop. No one's going to tell you that. No politician, nobody running for president right now is going to tell you that. No Federal Reserve president is going to tell you that. No, but it should make sense to you. The debt-based economic model is bankrupt. It's always bankrupt. It operates in a perpetual vacuum, a debt black hole of unprecedented proportion. This black hole is going to get a lot bigger, and they got to fill it with more cash. How do they do it? You know this already, but I'm going to ask you, what endeavor on this planet generates more cash in terms of borrowed dollars than anything else? War. The expansion of war. Wars on terror, wars on words, nouns, whatever it might be. Understand? So that's how you know. We know their playbook. We know what they want. We know who our enemy is. I've told you this before. Okay, that makes our job easy. Understanding what we need to do. You understand? I think you got it down here, people. All right, look, this video is getting awfully long. I want to thank all of you again for your support, your love, your friendship, everything. For these thumbs up. One more time, people, please share this stuff. Get it out there. People need to hear this, in my opinion. If you disagree, that's fine too. Okay, if you think this Greg is out there and this is all nonsense, there is going to be plenty of people like that, and I get it. But if you get it, if you see what I see, and I know most of you do, this channel is growing every freaking day. All right, there's a reason for that. It's you. It's all of you getting out there, sharing this stuff, getting it out there. People becoming aware of what's happening. Okay, people listening to their God-given gift that something is wrong and something's going to get a lot worse here moving forward, people. Okay, we got each other's backs as always. I got yours, and I know you got mine. What is it with these 33s all over the place here? You guys are obsessed with freaking numbers, man. Like that means any damn thing. Honestly, unbelievable. But that's okay too. You're allowed to have your obsession with numerology. All right, people. Look, I'm out here again. Like I said, I will see all of you in the morning. God loves you a lot from the heart, and I mean that with all I got. We got each other as always, and that's how we are going to get through this, because we got each other. All right. I'll see you in the morning.